Sometimes an ordinary evening becomes something more. Nothing special happens. The day ends the way most days do. The world grows quieter. The work is done. And for a moment, you stop thinking about where you are going. You stop thinking about what still needs to happen. You stop thinking about how much farther there is to go. And that's when you notice it. A feeling, not excitement, not relief, not even happiness, something deeper, a quiet gratitude that settles into the body before the mind understands why it's there. The shoulders soften, the breath slows, the noise inside becomes still. And as you sit with that feeling, you find yourself looking back. Not all the way back to the beginning, just far enough to see the distance. For a long time, you were walking without evidence. You took steps because something inside you said, keep going. Not because you knew, not because anyone could guarantee the outcome, not because the path was clearly marked. You walked because your heart recognized something your eyes could not yet see. And if someone had asked you then where all those steps were leading, you probably wouldn't have had an answer. You were simply following what felt true. One decision, one effort, one act of faith at a time. There were days when nothing seemed to change. Days when progress felt invisible. Days when you wondered whether any of it was making a difference at all. Yet, somehow, you kept moving. And then, one day, you look back, not searching for proof, just looking. And suddenly, the invisible becomes visible. The efforts accumulated, the lessons accumulated, the courage accumulated, the healing accumulated. What once felt like scattered movements now forms a path, a real path, a path that was being built beneath your feet the entire time. And perhaps that's why the gratitude feels so profound. Because it isn't directed toward what you have achieved. It isn't about reaching the finish line. It isn't even about certainty. It's directed toward the realization that the faith was not misplaced. The quiet voice you listened to all the time was leading somewhere. The steps mattered. The choices mattered. The days that seemed uneventful mattered, even when you couldn't see the shape they were creating. And something changes when you realize that. Before that moment, faith feels like a gamble. After that moment, faith feels like a memory. You remember all the times uncertainty eventually became understanding. You remember all the roads that revealed themselves only after you had already started walking. You remember all the ways life carried you when you thought you were carrying yourself. And suddenly, the gratitude is no longer only about the past. It begins to include the future. Because while you still don't know where this road ends, while you still can't see beyond the next bend, you have seen enough now to trust what brought you here. You have seen enough to know that Not everything meaningful announces itself when it begins. Some things reveal their purpose only with time. And so, tonight, I'm not grateful because the journey is over. It isn't. There are still questions. There are still dreams waiting to become reality. There are still mountains I haven't climbed. But for a moment, I stop walking. I turn around and I look at the road behind me and all the versions of myself who took a step without knowing, who trusted without proof, who continued without certainty. And I realize something. None of those steps were wasted. Every one of them became part of the path. And as gratitude settles quietly into my heart, I find myself trusting tomorrow a little more. Because the same wisdom that guided me through yesterday still walks beside me today. The same unseen current that carried me through storms still flows beneath this moment. And if it carried me this far, perhaps it already knows the way forward. Until next thought, take care.